This is Jordan Franklin, and this is Sports in Depth.
Madison Ives.
I'm Brittany Toth.
I'm AJ Palazzolo.
I'm Alex Headland.
I'm Tobin Reinwald.
This is Cody Vance. I'm Tyler De La Fuente.
My name is Dylan Flynn.
Today we're going to be looking at throwing the perfect spiral and take a look at one of the hardest defensive positions. Let's get to it.
American football's father is Walter Camp, who wrote the standard rules used in the game today. In 1920, the American Professional Football Association was formed, marking the first professional American football league in the United States. 2 years later, the APFA changed their name to the National Football League.
The game of football really took off, especially in the Midwest, where industrial towns play the game for fun. One of the major aspects of the Midwest, though, is the wind, which can affect the movement of the ball. So here's the HC quarterback and the HC quarterback coach to show you how to throw the perfect spiral so the wind won't affect the ball.
Throwing a spiral is very important. I always use the term, if I see a kid that throws a great ball, I always say the kid can really spin it. When I talk about that, the amount of revolutions on the ball when it leaves his hand. Some kids can really spin it and the revolutions are really high. For being in Nebraska, when you throw a ball with a lot of revolutions, it cuts through the wind a lot better. When I talk to quarterbacks, one of the biggest things is follow through and how their hand comes off the ball. We tell our guys to kind of have a wide, comfortable grip. Most of the time, your index finger never even touches the laces. When we finish, it looks a lot like a screwball would for a baseball player. As the ball rolls off your hand, your index finger should always be the last finger to come off the ball. As the follow through goes for that, your hand would go all the way to your hip, like into the holster, we would say. And so what we try to do when we warm up is really, really overemphasize hand to the hip, because in my experience, most of the time when throwing a spiral, it has a lot to do with your follow through and the snap you get off your index finger. When you throw a ball that has high revolutions, it's not going to drift as much. You won't see the ball drift, and pretty much you can put the ball in a lot better position. Obviously, it's a lot easier to catch when it's a good spiral. So, in terms of accuracy, distance, all that stuff, being able to spin it and get the ball to have a high number of revolutions is very, very key in being a good quarterback.
End zone, tries to find Austin Curley for the touchdown!
I'm AJ Palazzolo.
AJ Palazzolo at quarterback. Palazzolo back to pass. We've talked about it. He has an arm.
Quarterback here at Hastings College. Today I'm going to teach you how to throw the perfect spiral. I like to lick my fingers a little bit, kind of gross, but helps the process. For me, it starts with a good grip. Want to get your fingers right on the laces. I got small hands, so usually people get more of the laces, but I just get one finger on there. For me, it's pretty simple. I just want my lead shoulder to point at my target, and as I'm coming through, I want to get the ball high, and I want to keep it high as I'm following through. Me, I like to put my thumb to my belly button for my follow through. Other people like to come all the way across. Just works better for me. So it's important to throw spiral because it comes in nice. The receivers like to catch a spiral. They don't want to catch a ball coming in like this. And if you're a quarterback, half the battle's looking good. Let's see if we can get you guys the perfect spiral right here. Perfect spiral, deep ball. Ready? Let go. Let go. Perfect spiral. Oh! That's all I got. Thanks for coming out. AJ Palazzolo, throwing perfect spiral since 1990. Wow, that was a perfect spiral. That really was a perfect spiral.
Let's review how to throw the perfect spiral. Remember to keep a good grip, keep your lead shoulder pointing towards your target, fall through with your hands like a gun into a holster, and remember that your index finger should be the last finger off the ball.
So the quarterback sure has to think about a lot when throwing a pass, but he also has to think about the defense, specifically the dogs of the defense, or the linebackers. Our next guest knows all about that position.
I think it really depends on the scheme that you run and whether it's a 4-2, 4-3, a stack, a 3-4. One, you got to have great fits. You got to understand exactly what you're expected to do within your scheme, within the line games and different things like that. The next thing, you got to have good hip mobility. You got to be able to change direction right now. You don't want a stiff-legged guy, a guy that can't change direction.
Here, watch number 8 Quincy Johnson come off the edge to make the tackle, adjusting his hips like Coach Harper mentioned. Check out this play where number 35, Jeremiah Reed, keeps his eyes on his man, making the tackle. Here, linebacker Eric Wiley adjusts well off the pass and makes a great play behind the line of scrimmage. Watch linebacker Quincy Johnson make an adjustment, keeping aware of where the ball is and coming down the line to make the play. Here, Jake Stevens is blitzing and finds the perfect hole to sack the quarterback. Watch Jeremiah Reed on this play, covering his zone and making a play on the ball to complete the coveted pick six.
That was going to be picked off. Jeremiah Reed all the way to the end zone. A pick six and a Hastings Bronco touchdown.
Joel Graffel makes a great play here, staying in his zone and staying aware of the ball, tipping it and causing an interception.
Intercepted by the Broncos lineman. That's a nice play.
I know how pumped we all get about football, but this is all the time we got. This was Sports in Depth. I'm Jordan Franklin. I'm going to go practice throwing the ball.